Hey, MadLab Nation, how you guys doing? Rainmaker podcast. Hope you guys had a great weekend and you're supercharged for this week. Enjoying the summer. I think it's first day of fall today, so we're having a beautiful fall here in Ohio. Hopefully, you're enjoying the weather where you are. I wanted to talk a little bit today about the decision-making process. Really, that is the sales program, the 201 program that we've got for you. It's about making decisions systematically and progressively from first contact to when the person decides to say no and you say that's good, I agree, or yes, I think we should get started, and you agree, and that's great. That's really the ideal situation. But I've given you a lot of strategies and tactics to try and help you with this conversation, given our working hypothesis that most folks don't like being in a sales transaction and put up emotional walls and lie and withhold information and try to be a little wishy-washy sometimes about the decision. And we've got techniques for removing I want to think it over, which is one of our conversational rules, so that when we get to the end, you don't get stuck with the old trump card to get out of the sales decision, which is thanks for being great. I really appreciate you. And I'll think it over and get back to you, right? So we're trying to avoid that. And so in line with this idea is there's many strategies and techniques that are woven into the process that are really trying to get the suspect or prospect to own their decisions. Because the more that they own their decisions, we think that, at least idealistically, they'll stay committed to following through on those decisions and execute some personal responsibility for the decisions they make. Now, does that happen all the time? No. And so we're just always trying to set up success for them and for us. And just wanted to review some of the various conversational techniques and strategies we employ in this interviewing process to see if we can get the suspect prospect to own their decision. And one of the key things that we try to do, right, is to have them build their narrative, their past, present, future narrative, because any decision that they're going to make along the way is about the future, and a future we can't guarantee or predict will occur the way they want, but we certainly want them to commit to the process that we have in place for the future of their health and fitness via exercise and other wellness programming that you offer. And so that's clearly, one of the foundational ideas. Get them in their story as you talk to them so that they can start to own that story. Now, we've got things like permission theory, right, where you ask critical questions and along the way and try to get them to give approval and permission to keep going, because if they feel like they're permitting you to ask more questions and permitting the process to continue, that may help them own the decision. We've got contract theories in terms of, in our case, verbal contracts, although they will be signing a written contract with you ultimately, but in the sales process, they're all verbal contracts. And we want verbal contracts like removing I want to think it over, time, questions, decision maker, all of them there. And so really doing, step 2 in the system is critical to having a sense of ownership on the prospect side. Dummying up, not acting like a know-it-all, and helping them help you is very important. And a corollary to dummying up is, of course, rescuing and that strategy. And so we want to connect as much as possible to their stated physical need, the emotional component, so that we have a fully integrated sale when we ask the adult to come in and analyze logically what decision's about to be made. So this is all part of increasing decision ownership. And of course, when you present your stuff at the point when that's appropriate, avoiding a lot of just rote reading of a massive number of features and benefits. You don't want to, add things to the prospect's needs picture right? This is one of the big mistakes people make in the sales process is, right, adding things to their needs picture they're not interested in, versus asking them what they have and want in their picture as you build this narrative and the future for them. So all of these strategies and tactics are critical and why they need to be employed and peppered throughout the conversation to help increase ownership of decision. So a yes is a yes, a no is a no, and you can move forward with either one of them, whatever those consequences might be. So in summary, right, the sales process is about decision making, and we want the prospect to own the decision they make, yes or no, at the end. And we've got a variety of strategies and tactics conversationally to try to improve the ownership of their decision, although ultimately it is their personal responsibility and accountability for whether or not they're going to honor their word when they make a decision. So that's that. Hopefully you'll use some of these ideas and understand, why these various tactics are so critical and important to try to use along the way conversationally as you build a high quality practice, which begins with the sales transaction.